Okay, we're going to take a look at servo wiring. On the 700X, Align has done some stuff to make the servo wiring look very neat when it's all put together. The diagram is a little confusing and it may be a little more complicated than it has to be. But when you look at the manual on page 11, it's showing some wire routing that doesn't make sense versus more traditional designs from Align, the original 700E series and 700N. Took me a moment to realize what we were actually seeing was the inside of the frame here and all the wiring routes to the inside. So I've taken the time to cut away the frame here. We've essentially taken the entire right side off. And let me zoom a little bit here. And what we've got is the wiring as it runs inside the frame. So the elevator servo comes from outside through this grommeted hole, goes above the lower bearing block, snakes underneath the motor mount, and eventually winds up here by the flybarless tray. The left side forward cyclic comes through the grommeted hole here, meets up here, goes underneath the motor mount and to the top. The rudder servo, and that was important the way we put it together earlier, the rudder servo routes along the servo above this stiffener post, and there's holes inside the frame here to route the rudder servo lead up to the top, and that's exactly the way the picture is showing it. So if we follow here, it had the rudder servo wrapping around and following above the battery tray and out. Elevator servo was following here and making its way along the frame, and what you're seeing here is the holes here are actually the motor mount points from the outside of the frame. So this is the routing from the inside. We have similar routing for the right hand side of the frame, and I've got this part apart right here, comes into the inside through the grommet, picks up the first tie down here, and I actually missed one, I have to redo this, and continues forward. So you can do all of this with the frame assembled. It was very difficult to do to provide pictures so you could see how it's done. Hopefully this helps you to understand how the wiring is routed inside the 700X, and done properly, it makes for a very neat installation.